Hi guys, it's Miss Thompson, and I'm going to be reading Chapter 7 of Ghost. Friday means two things. The first is that it's the last day before I can take 2 days off school. I like to think of it as a non-altercation suspension. Plus, the weekend was when me and Ma actually did stuff and not just watch movies and avoid homework, because she didn't work on weekends and took early morning online nursing classes to get them out of the way. And when she was done, we would clean the house. I was in charge of the living room. Ma would give me her version of a haircut. She always got most of it even. Then give herself one. And then we would go over to my Aunt Sophie's house. Aunt Sophie is my mom's younger sister, and she's like the coolest lady ever. She has a tattoo on her arm that says Sweetie Pie that I never asked about, but always stared at just because I can't wait to get one. But mine ain't going to say nothing like that. Mine is going to say, world's greatest, or of course, Ghost. Anyway, on the weekends, Aunt Sophie and my ma sit around and play cards and crack jokes and eat corn chips with cheese dip and drink beer, and sometimes they let me and King, Aunt Sophie's son, sit with them and play. Yes, we can play. Me and King learned how to play spades and tonk when we were really young. It's a thing in our family, a serious thing. And yes, his name is really King. I think the sisters just want to give us royal names. So, yeah, all I had to do was get through Friday without any problems, and I was good to go for the weekend. The other thing about Friday, which I didn't know until Thursday, is that Coach gives everybody the day off. No practice. Then, of course, since this is the first Friday of the season, Coach was taking the newbies out to dinner. After 2 days of school, which technically equals one full day, I'm happy to say that school went pretty smoothly on Friday. Brandon Simmons was back, and even though I had my regular dusty butt shoes, the fancy ones were for track only, Brandon didn't have much to say to me. I saw him before our first period, and he walked right past me and Dre. I saw some of the other kids snickering at him as he passed, but I told them all to chill. I don't know why, because he totally deserved to be roasted, but I guess I kind of felt bad for the dude. I've been there. I can't believe you're giving this clown a pass, Dre said. It's almost like he had a year's worth of laughs stored up, waiting to unload them on Brandon. Everybody did, but I just couldn't let that happen. Funny thing was, when I saw Shamika in Mr. Hallow's class, she apologized to me about everything that went on in class the day before. And that, my friends, is what they call karma. Plus, like I said, she was a cool girl anyway. At lunch, she even sat with me, Red, and Jay, told us every story about times she cut things, just because she was feeling a little guilty. There was one time I cut my hair. Man, that was crazy. Just straight up hacking all off like a maniac, just because it was hot and my hair was on my neck, she said, just before taking a bite of her burger. Then, in the midst of chewing, she continued, another time I cut a pair of jeans into shorts while I still had them on. That was not smart. Still got them scars on my legs. Then she interrupted into laughter, just like she did in class. By this time, she was the butt of her own joke. And even though me, Dre, and Red didn't really find it funny, we couldn't help but laugh too because, well, that's what her laugh makes you do. Before I knew it, school was over, and I went on my usual walk home. I mean, Coach wasn't coming until later, so I figured there was no rush. So I went into Mr. Charles' store. Let me guess, sunflower seeds, Mr. Charles said. He even turned the TV down, as usual. Let me guess, $1, slapping my money on the counter. I grabbed the bag. You okay, son? Mr. Charles asked. Yeah, why? Oh, you know, all that stuff that happened yesterday with you being teased, and then you came here and He stopped short. I started to feel a little annoyed that he even brought it up because I was definitely trying to forget about it, especially the last part, the stock room part. Talk about weird. Not that I hadn't thought about it. I mean, how could I not? But every time my father's face, or the sound of his angry voice, or the sound of the gun cocking popped into my mouth, I would just shake it out of my head by thinking about my bullets. The silver bullets. But you just can't be mad at an old James Brown-faced man like Mr. Charles. You just can't. Yeah, man, nice shirt. I'm cool. I'm actually in a good mood. Oh, yeah, he asked. I used my teeth to rip open the corner of the bag. Yep, got a dinner thing I'm going to tonight for a track team. I said, all proud. Track team? Mr. Charles said, now turning the TV down even more. You're on the track team, Castle? Yes, sir, I started to say, but it's hard to try to talk and get a seat out of the shell at the same time. So I waited until I got done and then continued. Remember? I told you yesterday. You did, Mr. Charles? Looked puzzled. The old brain's getting wonky these days. Sorry, son. It's cool. I tapped the bag in my palm to get a few more seeds out. So yeah, I'm on a track team called the Defenders, one of the best teams in the city. I didn't know you were an athlete, Mr. Charles seemed impressed. Well, I am, and pretty good one, too, I bragged, tossing the seeds in my mouth and casually slapping my bag against my thigh to brush the salt off. A shock of soreness shot down to my knee, a painful reminder that I was definitely an athlete. Arg! Mr. Charles twisted the top of the cranberry juice and took a sip. I believe you. I told you, kid. You're one of the world's greatest. Got that right, I said, now spinning shells in my hand. One of the world's greatest. After I left the store, I headed to the stop too, the bus stop. I took a seat next to an older woman. She was doing a crossword puzzle and humming a song I didn't recognize. She might have been making it up. It didn't sound bad, though. Across the street at the gym were all the people working out. The Walking Dead. Ha! That's what they looked like. Anyway, I hung out there for a little while before moving on. When I got to Martin Luther King Park, I looked down the track, and there wasn't nobody there for a man jogging with his dog. But nobody else. No real runners. After that, there was really no place else to go but home, and I wasn't ready to go there yet, so I went to the basketball court. At the court, as usual, all the older guys were running fives for cash. I knew some of them just because they were always playing.